Hey YouTube, it's your boy Widgie here, coming in with some more Age of Empires 3 Definitive Edition. And I got another casting game for you, and it is with my good friend Lucas L. And I recently did another Lakota video of him just over a week ago, and I thought I would sort of grace your presence with another one for you because I really enjoy playing Lakota myself. And you know what, I thought, you know what, it's my channel, I'm going to post this, why not? And Lucas is currently ranked 12 on the leaderboard, and we've got Horang here. I'm going to call him Horang. Horang here is ranked 20 on the leaderboard. So we have an extremely high level game for you today. And don't worry guys, there will be more sort of mid and low elo level casted games in the future on the channel. But today we're going to be looking at a super high level casted one. And we're going to have a look at Lucas here, and immediately we are going to be seeing the good old TP market and trade post greedy strat once again. I've been trying this guys and I'm really bad at it. I keep forgetting to do things. It's really embarrassing. I recently played a game that I somehow managed to win, and I forgot to sell food to then buy the wood, and it was just nuts. And also, like, you know, building a tribal marketplace is something you should do as well. And yeah, it all kind of went wrong for me, and I aged up at like 4 minutes 20. I got into the next stage. So let's see how quick Lucas does it, and we'll see how bad I really am. Anyway, Lucas here is going to be grabbing 95 food, which is going to be absolutely amazing for him. And he can potentially use that to sell the food to then buy the wood needed to get the trade post down. So we can see here that 100 wood is now immediately stopped. He's actually managed to get the hunting dogs in there, and he's just got the 100 wood waiting in play there, ready to get the next 100. And he's going to have a little search around, and he's going to see what he can find. But anyway, we do see on the bottom left part of the map, let's introduce the players, of course. Bottom left part of the map, we have Lucas playing as the Lakota in the cyan. And on the top right part of the map, we have Horang here playing as the Spanish in the red. So let's see how this one goes. It's on my favorite map, Arabia. I really love this map, quite simple. I like the sort of circular trade post design. It's really, really nice. And yet we can see now Lucas has managed to get that trade post down with the wood. He definitely bought some wood there with the coin. And it's really nice because if you do build a tribal marketplace, it means you don't have to bother building it later on if you do need it. That also is a benefit as well. It is annoying with Lakota and Haudenosaunee, I must say. It's very frustrating that you have to build tribal marketplaces. It is annoying, but it is what it is. Anyway, let's have a look at the decks first. So we have this. This is a test deck. Interesting, and there's an interesting card right here. Winter counts. All units and buildings grant more XP when created. You can see, look at that unit bounty there. It's insane. We also have an interesting one, camp movements here, which is one I've been messing around with, where you get 2 war hut travois. And also it means that you can deconstruct buildings and move them later in the game. And also the build time is reduced by 25% as well, which is really nice. And Horang here, let's have a quick look at Horang's deck. It is called the number 1, and it looks pretty standard as Spanish decks go. Nothing kind of crazy here or out of the ordinary. We can see that if we go back to Lucas here, he is on the age up, and he's going for the fast age up. And I just want to let you guys know, I aged up at 4 minutes 22, I think it was, on a recent game that I did, where I went for this same opening. And let's just see, you know, where Lucas is right now. He's looking pretty good. He's going to be probably 20 seconds quicker than me, which is quite extraordinary. And we can see majority of vills are going over to wood now. So I can imagine that some kind of military building is going to be going down, but I can't be certain with Lucas because he's got a deck called Test, and it is this camp movements. Now, I've tried doing this, and I think I failed with it again. I think I was overthinking it a little bit. This is a crazy kind of trade post strategy here, ladies and gents. It really is. It's basically what we're going to be seeing. I mean, I don't know if we're going to be seeing this, but I think that we're going to be seeing the camp movements coming out, and then we're going to be seeing the TP line getting taken over. And you can see how many villagers there went over to wood. A lot of villagers were chopping wood constantly there. And we're going to see what that wood is going to be used for. And Lucas is going to get his first scout of Horang here. And he's going to be seeing that, yep, we do see a stables opening, few villagers on coins, so most likely some kind of semi-FF style. Horang here, yep, is going for 5 villagers first. and immediately training in the Hussars and actually doubling down into steel traps. So semi-FF style, it sort of seems. It's quite unusual for the Spanish to play in Age 2, but let's see how this one goes, because I've got a little bit of a sneak peek from Lucas saying that this is an Age 2 kind of game. So let's see how this one goes, because you know how much I love my Age 2. So 700 wood is coming in straight after the camp movements here. So as I mentioned, that's exactly what's going to be happening. And boom, we do see double Maceman coming out. I think that's because of the scout of the stables. We are going to be seeing the double Maceman. Are they going to be able to get on top of the Hussars here? I don't believe they are. That is unfortunate. But they are going to be coming out nonetheless. And I think that's what all that wood chopping was for, basically, ladies and gents. The wood chopping there was pretty much to be able to get those 2 batches of units out, because these Macemen are 40 wood each. So that is in itself 400 odd wood. So that was why there was so much chopping. And now the 700 wood is going to be collected. Hussars are going to try and dip in here, see what they can do against Lucas's Vils. Are they going to be able to do much? No, because these Club Warriors have managed to make their way back to the base. And it's going to be seeing off Hoang here quite easily. So this is an interesting build by Lucas. I don't know how I feel about it. We are going into double wood shipment back to back, ladies and gents. And it's going to enable Lucas to be able to pump out units for a brief time. This is it. It's all about a brief amount of time here. This is giving him a window to be able to get some serious unit XP here. And this is where maybe this card could come in. This card could come into its own. But as I say, it is a card in itself, so it's difficult. You could get the winter counts, and then you could go for camp movements, but it just seems like it's not an ideal. It just takes up too much space as a card. You could get so many better things than that card. And there we do see further 600 wood coming in, and now we see the Chetan Bowman coming in. Now look at all these Club Warriors at 7 minutes 20. We've got so many units, and hopefully now with that wood, we might potentially see further trade posts going down. We don't see that. We are just seeing full-on aggression here. And remember, Lakota do not require houses to get population. So there's no requirement for that. You've got all this wood and you can just keep pumping out units from double war huts. It's kind of nuts. And there's other variations that you can do on this as well. You can obviously spend a bit more wood on the TPs instead. You don't have to go for double war hut. And now we do see the Axe Riders coming in now as well. But I mean, look at this, ladies and gents. This is a scary, scary amount of units at 8 minutes here. And Hoang here is definitely not looking to be aging up. We do see the double racks put down for him. And immediately we've got the Colonial Militia has come in. That's going to be popped from the town centre. Double batch of crossbowmen coming out for Hoang now as well. And Lucas there just dipping in, sieging that house, and now going to do a nice switcheroo there, taking out a couple more of those Hussars. Very nice. And we see some of Hoang's dogs have also got stuck in here. But this is quite a good engagement for Lucas here. But we must remember that there's a lot of crossbows on the back line. They can do some serious damage to the Club Warriors. Now the Axe Riders are going to be coming in, which is a nice timing here, going to be able to get on top of these crossbowmen. And Hoang is basically going to answer that with some Rodoleros. And the Club Warriors in mass aren't too bad up front against the crossbowmen. And we can see that, yeah, Hoang is in an interesting predicament here. The Rodolero shipment and timing is going to be quite nice, but remember there are still quite a few Chetan Bowmen. Lucas here is now starting to get in the unit shipments. They're starting to come in into their own. And overall, a very good engagement here for Lucas. You can definitely see in the villager score here. Rodoleros are going to try and chase down those Chetans, and he needs to be careful because the Rodoleros are quite cumbersome, and the Chetans will die to them if there is a mass of Rodoleros. You've got to be very careful. However, it's okay because there's more Chetan reinforcing, and Hoang knows that, and he's going to be getting back here. So I am kind of very amazed at the simplicity of this kind of double back-to-back wood shipment, just mass producing units. It's a different style of Lakota. Rather than going for unit shipments, why don't you go for resource shipments, train the units, you get the unit XP training from that as well, coupled with your trade posts that you have, can really help you with your XP tempo. And that's what we're seeing. Look at these back-to-back shipments, ladies and gents, but we must bear in mind that it will run out. You know, Lucas's steam will run out here if he does have bad engagements. The age 2 will not be as good. We do now see the corral coming down, and 700 coin is now underway. So he's looking to age up potentially, or start just making cavalry here from the corral. And I mean, it's just kind of insane, the amount of, like, it's just baffling how he seems to be doing so well eco-wise. I'm looking to see if he's actually gone for the Great Hunter. No, he hasn't. He hasn't gone for the Bison. He just seems to be doing so well. And also, it's that village creation. It's constantly having villagers in queue. Look, we're at 11 minutes and we've nearly got 30 vills. You know, Harang here on 27 vills. It is the key to keep your villager production up and ensure that your economy continues to do better and better as the game goes on. And now we do see Axe Riders in queue. Club Warriors are now coming in as well. And God, this is a lot of units, ladies and gents. This is very scary. And I am loving this kind of strategy with Lakota. It's very different. It's similar to Lopsided Fluff's kind of Haudenosaunee style, where you go for the resource shipments first and then you pump out units. It's a little bit similar to that, but a Lakota style. And what do we see from Harang here? Kind of going to have to move his vills on the north, sort of west side of the map here. Going to have to venture out into no man's land. He needs to be careful there, but there's a lot of units here for Harang. The score is relatively similar, and some micro is definitely going to be needed here. And immediately we do see a connection, a kind of a strange connection there. No one really prepared. The Club Warriors are going to just do quite well against the Hussars here, and we just need to make sure that the Chetans focus the Rodoleros, and hopefully, yeah, I mean, it's not looking so good. Rodoleros do fare a lot better against the Club Warriors, I'm afraid. They are just inherently way better, higher HP people, higher resistance. And yeah, this is not going now the best for Lucas. He needed some cavalry to try and deal with the crossbows here, but now they're coming in. Look at that. Perfect. Absolutely beautiful. Look at this. Axe Rider straight on top of Harang's crossbowman here. And it looks like with those reinforcing cavalry, he's actually going to make a decent exchange. And now going for further eco, ladies and gents, going for the Great Hunter. A fantastic card to get later on. It's going to be delivering him some serious amount of food and extra yield and gather rate. And we can see here just the Axe Riders. Just, it's a bit of a mess. I'm not going to lie to you. I would struggle microing this. I don't really know what's going on. You got a mishmash of everything here. And I think Lucas is starting to dwindle in forces now. So he's definitely going to have to back off a little bit. But it's okay because he's got the Great Hunter in. He's got 33 villagers. Harang here has 30 vills, getting in a gold shipment. And now we do see the Community Plaza coming in. So he did lose his Explorer. And now he's going to be able to get that Explorer back. And an interesting kind of way that we've got the TP here. Just sort of further out here to sort of get the gather rate of the deer and also the wood as well. And now actually going in for the bow riders. So I really like Chetan Bow Rider, you know, which is kind of like an Age 2 Skirm Goon composition, you could say, for Lakota. I do like that. It's quite a nice combination. And we do see the deadly 2 Takala soldiers are going to be coming in the next shipment for Lucas here. And I would maybe suggest going for the TP line. But I think kind of prioritizing just military production here. But there's so many ways you can do this with this camp movements. I like it. I must say I do like it. But I have to try it myself. There's a lot of wood chopping to be done in transition from Age 1 to Age 2. But anyway, we're going to be getting stuck in here. Now, the Takalas are going to do well against infantry overall, but they need to be careful of those Rodeleros. Definitely needs to be careful. and micro them well. And now the Chetan are going to try and do what they can. More Rodeleros coming in, which is going to be very, very scary. Rodelero and Hussar is a scary composition to face when you are playing against Spain. But it looks like there are plenty of Chetan Bowmen reinforcing. They're going to be able to clear up a lot here. And it looks like Lucas has done it again with this engagement. Absolutely amazing. Going to be taking out and clearing up all those Rodeleros and going straight in. There is the GG from Hoang. Ladies and gents, what do you think about this strategy? I mean, I'm loving it. I really am loving this kind of camp movement play where you then go back-to-back wood shipments and you focus all your vills on food. You know, we saw that in the transition there, a lot of vills were on wood, and that is basically to enable yourself to get your first double batch shipment out, and then hopefully, if the timing is right, the 700 wood coming in behind them will enable you to then continually create, and basically you want your macro to be predominantly on food at that point. And then if you can keep with villager production, once you get past those 2 double batches of wood, you can then start to roll in your military shipments, and I mean, the world is your oyster, you know? But as I say, you could do it a different way. You could say, you know what? I don't want to pressure too much. I want to take the TP line. All right, we'll go for it. You know, drop down the double war hut. Don't chop as much in transition potentially. And then wait for the 700 wood to come. What do? You immediately queue in your caravan trade, your upgrade to your trade route. You get the stagecoach. You then start building your TPs, and then you play more of an eco game, which may potentially go longer. But yeah, many options here. Many options. And guys, I hope you really enjoyed this. It's an interesting look and a different kind of strategy that Lucas is trying out with Lakota. Let me know what you think down below in the comments. I'm sure you're going to be mentioning quite a few things here. And of course, I'll catch you in the next video or the next stream. Catch you later, guys. Bye.